Welcome back, strangers. I hope you guys are having a great Friday. Tonight, we're going to be discussing urban legends that turned out to be true. So be sure to share your local legends in the comments so we can talk about them. It'll be a good time. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting night. So for those who don't know and may be new to the channel, my name is Blake. I am one of the editors / voice of the Strangest. Nice to meet you.
I'm Ethan. I write and help edit some, but Blake's been killing the videos lately because he's been putting out a lot of stuff.
I had a lot of fun with that last video.
Yeah.
I put in a few memes.
Yeah, so if you guys haven't checked that out, definitely go look at it. But we're an unsolved mysteries and paranormal channel that like to travel and film some crazy places like we've been doing. So it's been fun lately. So check those out if you haven't already.
Yeah, and also as far as our collaboration videos, check out Michael Scott and Joey Adventures. They were in there with us, and they're great people, great channel. Check them out.
Yeah.
Channels. But yeah, so let me go and catch up on the chat. 21 Savvy 33 for life. How's it going? Glad you're here. Kevin, good to see you as always. Kenneth, also good to see you as always. Cairo, how's it going? Stacy, hello. Masudo-chan, good to see you. Cairo said a wild Ethan appears. He's rare. He was hard to find. It took to the last few minutes before the live stream to find him. Hey Amy, how's it going? Swamp's here. Moist Boys in the chat always. How's it going, Spooky? Good to see you.
Swamp is never here when I wear his shirt. I actually have a Swamp Dweller shirt now, but you're never here when I wear it.
Yeah, that's his excuse.
Yeah.
If you go back and watch the videos, it doesn't exist.
It does exist. It's in the cursed phone call video for sure.
So Ethan, what are we talking about tonight?
Hold on, I have to get it pulled back up because I wasn't completely ready.
Okay, well I'll carry it. We'll do it live. But yeah, so if you didn't know, this past week's videos, which is weird, we went to the Bellamy Mansion in Wilmington, North Carolina, and I didn't think when I was there that it was, as substantial as it turned out to be, but we caught some really interesting things. So got some EVPs, which some of them are pretty creepy. Got a child's voice, still trying to figure that one out. But yeah, go watch the video after the live stream. It's pretty creepy. So, yeah. And then next week, we're going to be putting up our video on the USS North Carolina battleship. And there I had the most paranormal experiences of my life. So that'll be fun to talk about. So.
Yeah. I'm excited for him. I'm excited just that we're actually producing stuff lately, so that's a lot of fun. I've been trying to catch up and have something come out after the investigations for the next week, so we don't go dry right away. Go silent for a while. So
Swamp said he's been to Wilmington a million times. Did you ever see the battleship? You can go. Swamp, come with us to the battleship. We can do it overnight. It's like, I think it was like $700 divided up to 10 people. So I mean, it was $200 for a couple, like 3 of us, but still, it's worth it. Creepiest place I've ever been in my life. So it turned me from a skeptic to a kind of a believer, which I never thought would happen. I'm like, this is how I've been describing it. I was a 99% skeptic. Now I'm a 25% skeptic. So, yeah. But I do want to go back. And Ethan didn't get to go last time, so he needs to go. Because he went on a ghost tour that was surely more spooky.
We didn't have that much YouTube money, man. I have to use our YouTube money for the long shot, my half of it. Hopefully that'll get us some views. Because right now it's only that New Orleans video that's scaring us.
I used my half of the YouTube money on the battleship. So at least that's what you guys know. All the money we get from YouTube goes into doing stuff for YouTube. So it all comes back around. It's a big economic circle.
Yeah. I actually finally have our outline pulled up. So the first question was, would you spend another night in a haunted mansion or on the battleship? I guess you would, since you're already talking it up. Yeah,
the mansion. See, the mansion, I left kind of disappointed because nothing exciting. Like, I heard a couple knocks here and there, but in person, I didn't really hear that much. But then when I was editing through the voice recordings, that's when I started hearing weird stuff. And, Ethan had a couple things, like a light turned on by itself, which it could be something. You never know. But I left that kind of bummed. And I think that's one of the reasons that we were kind of on the fence about the battleship is like, man, we just spent a lot of money doing the mansion. Now I'm going to spend this much money doing the battleship. But I was like, well, it'd be a cool experience. How often do you get to go on a battleship, and explore? And well worth the money. Would definitely go back again. I will go back again. So
I think also part of the reason why the mansion was almost a little disappointing at first is we have a very similar mansion in our hometown, so that's supposed to be haunted, and it's a museum type thing, like has an art studio too on one floor, so it's not as big, but it is very similar. So both Civil War era. So
yeah. So you want to do the ship after all the things I've shown you?
yeah, I mean, especially if we had Swamp, or I'd really just like to go to Florida in general and see Swamp. That'd be a cool collaboration. I want to meet more people now that we haven't gotten murdered after the first time. So
Yeah, it was a really good experience. Like meeting other people in the community in real life. It was pretty cool. So, and they're just really down to earth people. I had a really good time with them, and it was nice getting to cower in fear with other YouTubers. So, because there was a point, I don't think I have it on video. Michael might have it on video, but we're just all in like the corner of like a barber shop, just like hoping nothing happens, because like we'd gotten so much like loud activity, and it was just like, fuck, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? So, look out for that video. It'll be fun.
Yeah, it's pretty sexy.
What's
that check mark next to Swamp Dweller's name. That's pretty nice.
That is new, isn't it? Look at you. Is that for the 100,000?
Yeah.
Congratulations on that again, man. That's pretty fancy. I need one of them. How far we got? 94,000. We're getting there.
The slow climb.
Yeah. But no, it's been a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the investigation videos, and I've kind of got like investigation fever. I really want to go somewhere else. And now I know what not to do.
Oh.
So what?
We could go try to camp out at that the campground, stomping ground.
Oh, the Devil's stomping ground. That'd be cool.
Tramping ground,
whatever. We can do that.
So, talking about that, do you have any favorite urban legends?
Let's see. I've always been partial to the hook in the hand, like the hook in the car door. That was always one that I heard as a kid. It's like the couple is out making out by the cliff, and they hear knocking or something. They think it's somebody, but it's no one. And they get home, and then turns out there was a hook in the car. I don't know. I butchered that. It's not listed in this story, is it?
No, it's not. It's
okay.
not. No, you're fine. I like the ones where there's people like laying in the road and they try to make you stop, and it's people going to jump out and try to get you. So,
yeah, Swamp said the classic Texarkana slasher legend. And Spooky said, now that makes me wonder if it's possible to stay overnight at the Wheeler Plantation in Hillsboro, Alabama, where I grew up. I feel like everyone should do that. It's like if you've got a place that could be haunted, why not make some money off it, But like I stayed at the St. Alban Sanatorium in Virginia, and that was a cool thing. I still want to go there. But Celtic Girl said the one about the nail scratching on the car roof. That's how I always heard it. That reminds me, another one that kind of got me was the one where like the lady's driving home and the big truck gets behind her and starts flashing its lights at her, and she's like thinking the guy's gonna kill her. And then like she finally stops, and he comes up and he's like, "Yo, are you okay?" It's like, there was a person in your back seat, and I was flashing my lights at you to scare him off. So that was another weird one that I butchered.
I mean, you did good, man. I was reading about Swamp's haunted historic inns that they closed. That's not cool. You'd break in and do an abandoned video on that.
Yeah,
do it for the views.
It's a shame that trespassing's illegal. We had so much cool stuff.
Swampville has nothing to lose. YouTube's his job. What are they going to not hire you because you got a trespassing charge for your job?
I know. It's like they're going to give the ability for like police to start claiming things. It's like, oh, that's illegal. We're going to take that down. You can still all explore them bitches. Yeah. Spooky said a girl in my grade just lived in the Hall Plantation, Town Creek, Alabama, and there was activity the time I spent the night there. That's pretty cool. See, like I've never really had activity happen until the battleship. Like let me backtrack. My idea of activity is something that I can't explain. Like I've had people, like friends and family, that have watched the video from this week, and they're like, "Oh my god, there's so many orbs. That place is haunted as fuck." And I'm like, orbs could be dust, but when you start seeing shadows that don't make sense and hearing really loud noises and bangs on command, that starts to get me.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
After Dark Paranormal's here. What's up? And Amy Only.
I think my favorite's The Killer in the Backseat. Yeah, I like that one a lot. The other one is a veterans home now that I can explore during the day. That's cool. We need places to explore. We have one that's about to get knocked down.
Yeah, we need to do it. Swamp, you could literally be a good Samaritan. Just go talk to the veterans, film some stuff, meet some old friends, make some people's day, and make a video out of it.
Do it for the content. Do it for the views.
Yeah.
There's no power even ran to the third floor. Wires didn't even exist on the third floor. And when we were there outside grilling in the backyard, all members there and accounted for. Lights turned on the third floor. Weird stuff. That's the kind of footage I want to get. I unintentionally caught some weird stuff on video, but yeah, I'll save that for this week. So check out. We're doing it on Wednesday and Friday this week.
Wednesday. So, that's changing it up, man.
Yeah, Michael Scott wanted to give the old videos some time to marinate.
I mean, that's fine.
So yeah. Okay, so I assume we were getting somewhere with that question you were asking about what's your favorite?
Oh, I said the people laying in the road and you have to stop. Because I hear read a lot of different variations of that, whether it's logs in the road or something's put there, or even real ones where someone's distressed and it's late at night on a country road and you don't know what to do, whether you should stop and help. And usually there's people hiding to try to mug you or something if you stop. So, or the variation too of someone knocking on your door saying they need help, they crashed their car and they want to rob you. So
speaking of that, I think we've talked about this before, maybe even on the live stream, but for some reason it popped up in my it was that chapter, his video popped up about Gary, Indiana.
Yeah.
And about how the cops say don't stop at red lights or stop signs, just roll through them because people will mug you. And they were saying the guy was coming in to do something and a cop was like, "What are you doing?" And then he was became his escort because it's so dangerous. And he was showing off in his video. He was like, "It's safer than only 5% of the cities in the country." And then I looked at ours and it was 4%. And I was like, "Oh no." And the populations are similar.
So, what's funny is I can fucking believe that.
Yeah, it's fucking true,
that's
man.
That's sad and depressing. Swamp actually did a Gary, Indiana video. And apparently that chapter and him are dating now. That's pretty impressive.
Oh,
I'm a little jealous.
He's a pretty thing. You got yourself a catch.
Yeah, we had him on for over 3 hours last week.
Yeah, so that's swamp material right there. 3 hours.
It was a fun time though. So
it was good.
If you could disappear into the wilderness and lose all contact with life, work, stress, and just live alone for the rest of your life, would you do it?
No.
You wouldn't?
No.
Couldn't give up the internet?
No, the internet's too important. I need the internet. I need AC. Not a very big wilderness person. Now, I would like to relocate and just leave all that shit behind, but I'm going to go somewhere that's comfortable. Not here.
So, you want an island shack in Bali?
Now, yeah, I could get behind that, but I'm not just going to go in the mountains and just become a hermit. What about you? Would you?
I don't think I could. I mean, I don't have the survival skills, but it's something think about. Just disappearing, just say fuck it. But I wouldn't do it. But I definitely don't see why people don't do that instead of the whole suicide thing. I don't know. It just seems like if you're upset, just say fuck it and just do something crazy like this. The first story is just someone who just said fuck it and was just I'm gonna just reject life completely. All the stuff society places on you and just drills into your head. One quote I really like is I reject your reality in favor of my own. So if you just rejected it all just to do whatever the fuck you want, that seems like a crazy way to live. So
YOLO.
Yeah.
When are we gonna do gang shit together? I'm not dragging ass. I'm ready to do some gang shit. I want to do some hood rat shit with my friends.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'm supposed to be in Florida in June. you wanted to do that. Blake, you could come and hang out for a weekend.
I mean,
I just have to go to a wedding for one night. So
I just want to go back to St. Augustine. They have good stuff.
yeah. Blake just crashes a wedding.
They wouldn't know. Just be like, oh yeah, this is our child that grew up. Like, have you ever seen that movie? The one where he just grows up real quick? That's it. It's real. Tom Hanks. So, do you want me to read the first story?
Yeah, it's a long one. So
okay. More importantly, who's playing the strangest drinking game with me? Oh yeah. After Dark, Paranormal said that she would drink every time I say "Welcome back, strangers." So that's twice. But it's not likely that I'm going to say "Welcome back, strangers" very often, because "Welcome back, strangers" isn't really something we say during the stream. Like, we say "Welcome back, strangers" at the beginning, but we don't really say "Welcome back, strangers" during the stream.
So what do you say at the beginning?
Welcome back, strangers.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm stuttering. Welcome back, strangers. I have to enunciate my words. I'm working on it. Welcome back, strangers. Welcome back, strangers. Okay, we're good. But yeah, have fun with the alcohol poisoning. But yeah, and it has to be whiskey. So, first story. For over 20 years, things would go missing and other unexplainable things would happen in the cabins of vacation communities of Maine. Rumors began to spread that it was the result of a local wild man, but police and park rangers could never catch the suspect. The man slowly became a local myth known as the North Pond Hermit. One April 4th, 2013, Christopher Thomas Knight was by game warden Sergeant Terry Hughes while burglaring the tree camp in Rome, Maine.
He was arrested. I butchered that sentence. On April 4th, he was arrested.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
He was arrested. Chris has lived almost without human contact for 27 years between 1986 and 2013. He left home at 20 years old and entered into the woods without saying goodbye to anyone. His parents never reported him missing to the police. In an interview, Knight said, "I had good parents, and we're not emotionally bleeding all over each other. We're not touchy-feely. Stoicism is expected." During his hermitage, Chris lived within 1 mile of summer cabins in a crude camp he built in a well-drained woodland, obscured within a cluster of boulders. Having entered the woods with almost no possessions, his camp was composed entirely of items stolen from nearby cabins and camps. He survived by committing approximately 1,000 burglaries against houses in the area. Chris stockpiled supplies to remain in his camp from November through March to avoid revealing his location by footprints on snow-covered ground. He survived the intense Maine winters with temperatures dropping as low as -25 Fahrenheit or -32 Celsius by waking up during the coldest part of the night and pacing his camp until warm. He concealed thefts by replacing empty propane cylinders for the full ones he removed and sprinkling pine needles over the canoes he had used when he returned them. The smooth criminal. He only spoke hi to one hiker and a group of fishermen who had discovered him during the 27 years in the wilderness. Chris only wanted to be left alone. Would you be able to survive in the wilderness for that long, stealing everything you needed to survive? Welcome back, strangers.
Blake, you just missed like a paragraph. But
Did I?
Yeah, it's fine.
Where? Did you put it in there? I didn't see.
Yeah,
I did. I fucked it up.
So the propane tanks, he used them because he didn't want to have fires, like smoky fires. So that's why he would steal them, and then he would return them with the canoes. Like he would travel up and down the water to get it.
What had happened was the word "he" was at the end of the sentence, and I scrolled down and I was looking for "he" to start back on, and there's another "he" a paragraph down. So, you want a refund for this reading? No, unless you have a receipt. We don't give receipts. You take what you get.
Yeah, but could you do that? Like, imagine just saying, "Fuck it, I'm going in the woods" at 20 years old, and then not coming out until someone arrests you.
That's a bad way to come out. It's like, oh, society's changed so much. Oh, the cops are the same. That's cool.
Yeah. He's now working for his brother, like under like probation. He's on probation, working for his brother. So I'm like, he had a brother. What did his family think at like Christmas and stuff? It's like, oh, Chris is crazy as hell. He's probably still out in the woods somewhere.
Oh, who else but Chris? Oh, well, that's nothing. I couldn't do that now. It'd be something, I like solitude, but not that much. I don't know.
What about the idea of stealing just the things you need?
Oh, that's the easy part.
Yeah, I mean, like, do you think that's a conscious thing to do? Like you're stealing, but to survive stealing?
I mean, I would still survive. I think most people would if they had to. So I don't know. I think when it comes down to it, of course, he was already a criminal, so it probably wasn't just because he, I'm sure he had options. He was just doing it because he wanted to live that lifestyle. But
Yeah.
oh well.
But what do you do during that time? Like the guy would just wake up in the middle of the night so he wouldn't freeze to death and pace around. Like what the fuck, man? That's hardcore.
Speaking of hardcore, and this kind of reminds me of it. Did you see that Man vs. Wild is coming to Netflix, but it's going to be an interactive series?
No, I thought you were gonna say he was coming to our hometown.
No,
like,
no.
like our area's gotten that bad. Like Gary, Indiana.
Man vs. Wild.
He's gonna survive Southern
That guy's
Virginia.
got a gun.
It's wild. He's coming right for me.
But yeah, they're coming. They're gonna have a Netflix special where you get to choose your own adventure. I just imagine being like, drink your own pee, drink your own pee. So, looking forward to that. I still haven't watched Bandersnatch. Anyway, so what's been the biggest plot twist of your life, Ethan? Since you didn't just walk into the woods at 20 and not come out.
Meeting Rebecca, like that changed my life ultimately for the better. Didn't really see it coming because it was right after a 3-year relationship where I lived with this girl. So that was crazy. That was a really successful plot twist. What about you?
I was failing high school because I slept a lot, and I was in my 12th year. I was about to graduate, supposedly, but I didn't have the credits to do it because I kept sleeping through my math class every year because of the way my schedule was set up. And I didn't sleep well at night, so I slept well in math class. But then I got expelled for some bullshit reason, and I had to take online classes. And because of that expulsion, I graduated with my class.
So you were going to graduate if you hadn't been expelled?
Probably not. Because, well, I mean, if I got expelled, I definitely wouldn't have, because I wouldn't have finished the year. But basically, I got in a fight. I didn't participate, and I got expelled immediately. Long story short. So, but yeah, plot twist.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that's a never have I ever I could use. Never ever been expelled.
Oh, well. Get expelled from YouTube.
Oh, yeah. I actually saw a button. Like I was deep in the options of our channel. It was in like that studio beta thing, and I got to an option that said delete channel. I'm like, why is this a button? Like, what the fuck is this?
It's just a one-click thing. There's no second questions. Just don't click the button.
Yeah.
I would be so pissed at you. It just goes like, "Where's our channel, Ethan?" I was drunk, and I was just clicking buttons, and it said delete channel, and I was like, "No. That can't be what it means."
Why would they put that button right here in big and red? I don't know.
I don't like the new studio.
No.
Kind of trips me out.
You can still get out of it by hitting the old one at the bottom.
Let's take a look at that. Hey, April, how's it going? Do we remember the barefoot robber? I don't right offhand.
Yeah, I don't either off the top of my head. I actually remembered the guy, the hermit guy, when he got caught and reading about his story, and it was really crazy. The only thing I like, Swamp said he hates the new studio. The only thing I like about it is like the new, like where it updates your stats in real time on your current video. I think that's a pretty cool feature, but I hate how they change everything else.
So. I don't like how they changed the end cards. Like end cards used to be really simple, and now you have to go in and do. It's probably better from a technical standpoint. Like you can probably do more with it, but I don't like change.
Me either.
I got used to it. So, oh well. So, do you like to cuddle or snuggle? Does this have anything to do with the topic?
It does. These are supposed to be segue questions. But yes, I do love the cuddle. It's one of my favorite things. I know some people don't, and people even sleep in separate bedrooms. Like I notice you always take an air mattress with you instead of having to share a hotel bed when we are trying to be cheap and cram as many people into a hotel as we can.
It's easy for you to say because it's like you have to share the bed with your wife. I have to share my bed with like usually a sweaty guy. So it's like I'll just sleep on the floor with earplugs.
I mean, if you could convince Amber, they go on the road trip up north.
That would be a fun time. I mean, just the road trip in general. No offense to her, but I just want to go on the road trip.
Yeah, doing lots of traveling lately.
Yeah.
Get some cool stuff planned in the pipeline. That'd be a really cool time. So
Are you still going to go see The Thing? I don't know if
yeah,
I'm supposed to
we can't
spoil it.
talk about. Don't
Can't talk
talk.
about it. Oh, he's
No.
going to go see A Thing. And
Yeah,
I think
that's what
you
I'm
got
gonna spend the other half of my half of the YouTube money on for a video that will hopefully get views. I doubt it, but we're gonna try.
Yeah.
So
I mean, After Dark said he was a young kid that literally barefoot running through woods and everywhere, going into cabins like that guy stealing anything he needed, even jet skis, and rich and famous people. Man, I'm just taking what I need to survive. Jet skis. That's great. Okay, but yeah, I like to cuddle. I got a dog now that loves to cuddle. That's great. Don't need women anymore. Moving on. But
that's good. Because girls at LSU would wake up thinking they were being watched and snuggled up against while they were sleeping. It was a campus legend for a whole semester before the serial snuggler was arrested. It turns out one guy broke into at least 12 different girls' homes and snuggled with them, ate their food, and then he would slip out their windows. In one instance, he folded clothes and crawled into one woman's bed to rub her stomach while she slept. The serial snuggler was a former LSU student, Steve Danos, who was sentenced to 5 years probation and 200 hours of community service and regular drug tests. He told the judge that he planned to attend the University of New Orleans in the fall. It actually sounds like it would fit in quite nicely in New Orleans.
It definitely would.
Because we met some people who seemed like they would just snuggle with you randomly. So, but I mean, sometimes we're all just looking for some cuddles, whether we know it or not. You know, he was just trying to be a nice guy. Maybe in the end, if I was that kind of creep, I think I'd like to sneak into people's homes and just fucking clean, just for the thrill and the risk of getting caught. Feel that power when they wake up, that weird sense of violation, like someone's been there, but yet they're a little confused as to why someone would clean up their house, just be like a cleaning troll.
That's pretty crazy.
Would you do that?
No.
It's such a strange thing.
Oh my god. Hey Joey.
Would you get expelled from college for that?
God, not here. They'd be like, oh, extracurricular activities. That is community service. That's crazy. But hey, Joey, how's it going? Everyone subscribe to Joey Adventures. She's in our videos. Good stuff. She said, oh my God, there's a Cuddle Buddy app. I didn't, but now I'm pretty curious. I think we should do a video on it. We'll just sign up Ethan. I don't know.
Maybe
Maybe
the DNA testing thing. I'll do the.
I'm not doing the DNA testing thing.
What? I thought we agreed in that live stream. I thought you said yes.
I'd said yes, and then you convinced me not to, because then you started listing what they could use it for, and I was like,
I think we have you on film agreeing to it, so that means
it won't hold up in court. I wasn't of right mind. I'm sure there was a beer in the frame.
I'm just gonna get you drunk and swab your mouth one day.
Let's see.
And then just keep the DNA, like put the trash in it, so that way you just wake up and you feel violated after you look in your trash can and find a DNA testing kit that's already been mailed.
Hey, Michael, how's it going? Michael Scott's here. He was also in our videos this week, so go check him out as well. Go check all the people out. He said 2 videos this week and a live stream. Work. It has been work, Michael. It has been work. I know you've been struggling too, because you do a lot of, your editing's amazing. Like, both of your editing's good, and it takes a lot of work. I forgot, I hadn't had a really good editing video in a while, so it took a lot of work. But we need to get you guys on a live stream so we can talk about it. At the same time, we need to have you both on and talk about our experiences at the mansion and the battleship.
Yeah. We also had 3 videos go up this week on Amino. So if you're on Amino, on the paranormal community, the conspiracy community, or the creepypasta community, we've been posting videos, custom Amino videos there. So it has been busy. We've been being productive for once.
Yeah. After Dark said, don't make fun of Blake. I'm 7 or 8, maybe 10 shots of whiskey. Welcome back, strangers. Yeah, take another shot. Oh, we wouldn't have known at our house. My oldest sister would get high and clean in the middle of the night, go to sleep in the dirty kitchen, and wake up with it sparkling, called it cleaning fairies. Oh, man. With as creepy as Uber is, a cuddle app sounds like the prime way to get murdered. Yeah. I just want to see like the kind of people that are on that app, and just, I don't know, take a look into their world. Because I mean, I don't think I've ever needed cuddling that bad. Like, I'll go get like a pillow or something. I don't know. But
You're not a cuddler, man. I think Navi's the only thing you've cuddled.
I mean, she's a good cuddler, man. Like, it was, if you had told me 5 years ago that I'd have a husky cuddling with me at night, I would have been like, bullshit. Dreams don't come true, but they do.
Yeah.
She's super cuddly. So it's like a living stuffed animal. But yeah, stuffed with organs.
Have you ever had a stranger mistaking you for someone else? What did you do?
Let's see. I don't know. Like, I've had a lot of people come up to me and they say they know me, and I have no idea who they are. So they could think I'm someone else. I had someone the other day mistake me. I mean, not mistake me. They actually knew who I was, but they were like, "I know you." I was like, "How do you know me?" They're like, "Did you go to this elementary school?" And I was like, "Do I look the same as I did when I was in elementary school?" It's like, shit, no wonder I get like carded every day. I just got carded for these beers. I am a 28-year-old man. I'm trying to grow a beard. Give me some slack. But yeah, I don't know if I've ever been mistaken for someone else.
Yeah.
What about you?
Not really. My thing when I came up with this was one time at an amusement park. I was like waiting to buy the tickets. I had a kid run up to me and latch onto my leg. He was like knee high, and he was just yelling, "Daddy, Daddy," and looked up at me. And then when he saw my face, he still kept saying "Daddy," and grabbed tighter until his mom like ran up and like grabbed him off of me, and he was still like holding on there tight, and he started crying. I was like, "I'm not this kid's dad."
But deep down, Ethan knew he was the kid's dad. But Ethan's such a jerk.
I was like,
I'm not your dad, kid. Get the fuck off. Take him away, Stacy.
Yeah. And I didn't even see a guy they were with that time, so I was just like, man, this is really strange.
Maybe he does that to everyone.
Maybe there might be some issues there, but it was a little different.
Yeah, I get creeped out when I've had exes with kids that just called me daddy, and it's like, we need to go ahead and cut this off.
That's dark, man.
How's it going, Phantom of Darkness? Good to see you. Michael said, "Don't worry, I'm 35 and still can't grow a proper beard." I'm getting there. I'm trying.
Holy shit, Michael Scott's 35?
Also, that's a thing I wouldn't have guessed. So, congratulations, you found the fountain of youth.
Fucking California air, man.
Yeah, it does wonders. But yeah, I've tried. I just can't do it. It grows in, like, every time I watch Joe Dirt, it's like he's like, "Yeah, my hair just grows all white trash like that." That's what mine does. I try.
In Southern Virginia.
Yeah. Comes
out somewhere.
Gotta show it. My accent doesn't show all the time, so I have to show it through my beard. But yeah, I'm 21. I'm a student, said I'm 21 and I still look like a teenager. Count your blessings. Hopefully it'll pay off in the long run.
Yeah. So I should have segued this one when someone mentioned Uber, but do you like riding in taxis, or would you rather take an Uber or a Lyft? You know, like riding in the car with a stranger has always seemed a little like awkward to me. Do you enjoy it?
I've only done it twice, but it was efficient. I was with someone else when I did it, though. Joey's not 30. There's no way Joey's older than like 22.
What?
All right, I could be all right. She's like, all right, no more than 25. That's my guess.
I literally thought she was like 22. That's really gonna fuck with me.
Yes, I am.
What? There's no fucking way.
How old are you? I need a birth certificate.
Yeah, there's no way.
You are not 30 years old. Stop.
Yeah, this is really fucking with me. It's like I'm fucking with me like a Mandela effect right now.
Yeah, that is not true.
That's almost like a decade off from what I thought. Like, holy shit.
Bullshit. I'm not going to believe you. I honestly, like, I think you're fucking with me because I honestly thought you were like 22, 21, something like that. I was like, oh, look at her. She's so brave to be going in these places. I wouldn't have done that when I was her age.
Yeah, I mean, I already thought you guys are brave for meeting strangers off the internet. Like Joey's just really just going out there and just meeting just random people. Like we could have murdered her. Like what the fuck?
We're awful.
I know. I was like, I don't know. Like you guys both came by yourselves. Like I thought you each would bring someone. Like the fact you guys just came by yourselves. Like I don't know if I would come without Blake or Rebecca.
Yeah, Ethan didn't tell you. We were strapping the whole time. It was like we might just have to take these guys on, you know. But no, it was a really good time. Really enjoyed it. You thought Joey was in her 20s. I still think she's in her 20s. I think she's fucking with us.
Yeah, I really think so too. Like I would have literally lost a lot of money if I would have bet that. There's no way.
Yeah. Anyway, next time on The Strangest.
Yeah.
No, I try to pass for younger though. Again, I'm gonna need a picture of your driver's license, ma'am.
Yeah.
No Photoshop. But I need to grab another drink. I'll be right back. Hold the stream, Ethan.
Okay. All right. Well, so you guys were talking about taxis, and then we had that crazy reaction to Joey's age. I've never expected that. But have you guys heard of stories about fake taxis in places? Like people always warn you before you travel to like third world countries, not even third world, but like travel outside of places that you should watch out for fake or unlicensed taxis when you're traveling. Like people trying to scam you or get extra money. They prey on unsuspecting tourists who don't know any better. It's something I don't really think about until I hear stories like these, even though like I try to travel some. So my friend was traveling around Central and South America, and when he landed in Peru, he was trying to improve his Spanish. So he was bargaining with the taxi drivers only in Spanish. After failing to negotiate a fair number with the drivers, he finally found someone who would take his lowball offer. Because, I mean, he was a real cheap traveler, trying to get the most out of everything. But it turned out it was an unmarked taxi. So while they're driving, he's just chatting with the taxi driver. He wasn't paying much attention to the road. And eventually, he began noticing that things were getting more and more rural. They were going outside of the city, even though he's supposed to be staying downtown. Just as he was about to say something to the driver about the route, the car pulled over and about 6 or 8 guys jammed into the car and they drove off like a bat out of hell. My friend couldn't believe that his taxi driver, who seemed like such a nice guy, was actually pulling this on him. After a while, they pulled over and tried to push him into the trunk. Fortunately, my friend is super strong and they couldn't force him in the trunk, so they pushed him back in the back seat. As they drove off, my friend was able to get the door handle open from the back seat. Then he wedged himself half out of the car as they were speeding off with one hand on his backpack. The man shouted to the driver, "Faster, faster." So my friend gave one final tug with his backpack and flew out of the car. Dazed and confused, he saw an elderly Peruvian woman throwing rocks at the car. It had stopped when they realized he had jumped out. When they kept getting hit with the rocks, it finally sped off. The next thing he remembered, he woke up naked in a bathtub in one of these small homes in rural Peru. The woman and her family had somehow managed to carry his unconscious body back to their home, and they had cared for him until he regained consciousness. What would you do if this happened to you? Would you have managed to escape? What do you think? What do you think would have happened if he hadn't escaped? What were the people going to do? Were they going to rob him, steal his organs? I don't know.
I missed half the story. So
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. I assume it was bad.
Yeah, it was like taking a fake unmarked taxi, unlicensed taxi, and they were going to mug him or steal his organs or something. I don't know. But he managed to escape. I don't know.
Well, that's good. At least it worked out.
So Spooky said, why did the family strip him? I read that he was really like cut up and bruised and that they were like trying to like stop, like clean the wounds. That's at least what the person said. So I don't know.
Michael said, that's insane. I travel a ton and now you got me spooked. Yeah, people are crazy. Always got to wonder. After Dark said, can we talk about how cute Rebecca was walking around with that tiny little sweetheart? I've actually got a clip that I was going to put in the video of her just being like, I'm tired of carrying this heavy ass dog.
Yeah.
It's like, that is literally the lightest dog in the world. She's all fur.
Yeah, I saw one of my someone on Facebook post a real picture of them carrying she carries her in like a baby carrier strapped to her. And I saw someone carrying a real baby in one, and it was like a few months old. And I was like, that's huge to be carrying around like on you. I don't know. Sassy's tiny.
Yeah, she's sweet. She did really good. I think she would have had a rough time at the battleship though. That's what, like there was a lot of stairs at the mansion, but there was a lot of stairs at the battleship. It was like up and down, up and down, up and down. So fun time though. Let's go back.
Yeah. Have you ever had any terrifying travel experiences while you were out? Anything sketchy happen to you?
I get approached by homeless people a lot. Well, let me rephrase that. I get approached by people that claim to be homeless a lot. Like I've had one guy, wasn't even traveling. This one time I was eating in a parking lot, and this guy comes up to my door and he's like, "Hey man, my mom's in the hospital. I need money to go see her, and to get across town to go see her, and because I don't have any gas." And I was like, "Oh, I don't have any money on me." And he's like, "Oh, well, do you have a debit card?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, we can just go to the ATM." I was like, "My ATM's on the other side of town." He's like, "Well, I can follow you." I'm like, "Well, if you can make it to the ATM, why can't you make it to the hospital?" So I was like, "All right, man, just go back, get in your car, and you can follow me." And he's like, "All right, man." So he started running back to his car and I just sped the fuck off. I was out of that parking lot on the other side of the world in like 10 seconds. But that was crazy. I can't think of anything. Well, there's the story about I don't know. You tell your story.
Well, there's New Orleans stories. We've told some of those though. There's one time when I was younger, I got like counterfeit money back from my restaurant. There was one time in Ireland, in Dublin, we had a guy follow us down an alleyway back to our hotel, and that was really sketchy. And luckily, we broke through into like a public area right after that. But we had walked through there and it was daylight, and it seemed fine. And it was like how Google Maps was taking us back anyway. So I don't know. That was really sketchy about what might have happened, and just last week I talked about Northern Ireland was kind of rough in general. Like we saw like people freak out and do stuff, and there was just a lot of crazy stuff happened there compared to like being all around the UK, and we hadn't had any of those experiences, and all of a sudden we just get to Belfast and things are just like crazy. So,
That's
but nothing too bad.
One thing I said when we were on the ship, I was like, if anything bad happens while we're by ourselves, the safe word is pineapple. And they were like, pineapple? I was like, just go with it.
Yeah.
Luckily, we never had to use it, but man, could have been. I really want to go back.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ethan. I keep talking about how cool it was, and he's like, "Yeah, well, must have been nice."
I mean, it's fine. It's not the. I mean, it's cool. Sad times.
It
would have been a lot if both of us had gone. So, and Rebecca. So,
man, Rebecca would have had a bad time. Like, I hate to keep going back to the stories, but like in the mansion, Rebecca would hear like a small sound and she'd be like, "Fuck this shit, I'm out." Like she'd be sitting on the stairs like with Ethan and then hear something, be like, "Oh, fuck this shit." But like if she heard the things we heard on the battleship, she would have been out of the battleship. It would have been gone. We were in the safe room and we could hear things. Like it's like, man, don't the ghosts know they can't come in the safe room? We just hear like knocking coming from outside of it. But it was a good time. Joey said, "I miss New Orleans. It's so much fun." It is a lot of fun. I really do want to go back there too. So New Orleans is just an experience. New Orleans. I also checked New Orleans on that website about the like safe towns, and it was like the only one that I could find that beat our town.
So, really?
Barely. I think it was like 3%. We were 4%. Joey said the battleship countdowns were insane. Note to self, guys: don't give ghosts an ultimatum. It's like,
don't tease them.
Yeah, because you start. That's when I said things like teasing. That's when I heard stuff. Like there was one point, and I don't think I got it on tape. Maybe one of the other two did. But we're like in a lunchroom, and I was like, "If there's anyone in here, is like you're supposed to be in the Navy. Don't be a coward. Don't sulk around. Make yourself known." And then we walked out of the room and I just hear bang. And I caught myself reacting to the bang, but I don't think I got it on tape. And I was like, I came back in. I was like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. So it was interesting. Michael said no more countdowns, Blake. Yeah, I did get on tape though, activity after the countdown. So cool deal.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see everyone's videos because unfortunately the bad thing, and I'm kind of realizing it now, is that I didn't catch a lot of activity on film. I got it in audio, but I didn't catch it on film. Not that we would have caught a sound on film, but you know, still. But I think Michael caught some stuff, so fingers crossed.
Phantom said that one time he had a guy approach him. He had a huge ass hump on his back, like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. And he went on about being a former professional boxer, down on his luck. And he ran into him twice.
I'll have you know it's Notre Dame.
Oh, yeah, I messed
Notre
that up.
Dame is the college, Ethan.
I know, I fucked that up. Holy shit. I was thinking about when I read it, the college. Holy shit. Oh, my God.
I only know because I like when I first went to the University of Notre Dame, I was calling it Notre Dame because of Disney. And I was corrected. So, but yeah, fun stuff.
Man. So, have you ever had any scary dating experiences? Like any
Yeah.
STD or pregnancy scares?
No.
Blake's like, all of the above. All of the above.
No STD scares, pregnancy scares. Yeah, I had at least one. But I had a really scary dating experience that I think I've told you, but I don't know if I've told it on the stream.
So what was it?
Let's go on this road. Hopefully she's not watching. She's a psychopath. But anyway, years and years ago, young Blake had just gotten out of a relationship with his ex, and he was trying to get over it. So I got a message on it might have been Facebook. I don't know. It was pretty late. I mean, pretty far back. But it's from this girl. She's like, hey, you're cute. We should hang out. And I was like, are you real? You're really cute. Like, her pictures were senior photos. Senior photos lie. Just saying that. They make people look better than they are. But anyway, she was like, okay, let's go on a date. And I was like, sure. Where would you like to go? And she's like, well, do you just want to meet at Target and hang out? And I was like, okay. So I drove to Target, and her grandma dropped her off because she didn't have a car. That's whatever. People don't have cars. And we start walking around Target. And at the time I worked at Walmart, and she's got a real thick country accent, which again is fine, but not what I was expecting. And she's like, so you work at Walmart? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, I ain't allowed to go in there anymore. I was like, why not? She's like, I stuffed about 13 CD cases in my pants, and I made it halfway out the parking lot before they tackled my ass. And I was like, oh, cool. Want to leave and go somewhere else? And she's like, yeah, but you have to drive me. I was like, oh, great. So I brought her to the mall because we'd already walked around Target like 4 times. I was like, what am I doing? I brought her to the mall, and our mall has 2 floors. And in the middle of the top floor, there's a big circle where you can see the bottom floor. And we walk over to that area, and she's like, you see that security guard down there? I was like, yeah. She's like, I could totally snipe his ass from right here. And I was like, oh, hold up. My phone's going off. Yeah? You have to go to the hospital? What? I was like, my sister has to go to the hospital. And she's like, oh my God, what's wrong with her? And I couldn't think. And I was just like, she has a really bad case of strep throat. So I was like, she's like, I'll go with you. And I was like, no, she's really shy. I can't. I'm sorry. I was like, I'll take you home. And I took her home, and I never talked to her again.
And then one time we were at a camp out, and we saw on Facebook where she said, I gotta quit the cigarettes because I'm pregnant. But then she was lying because she's like a psycho liar.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of stories about her. Actually, I heard a story about her people waking up and she was in their bedroom. Like, they didn't know she was even at their house. So she is legit crazy.
Yeah. And now she really does have a kid. So there's they multiplied.
I feel really bad for that kid.
Yeah.
Like, there's something wrong with that girl. But again, she looked good on Facebook. She checked out. So you guys, you gotta stalk better than I did back then.
I mean, those were early days. I mean,
They were. You couldn't even do more than like on Facebook back then. There was the dark ages.
Yeah, you never know. So, welcome to the world of AIDS is an urban legend about a man.
That was our that was our segue into AIDS.
Yeah. Actually, I didn't tell my experience, but I was like, let's just jump into
No,
this.
go ahead and
this
tell your
urban legend.
experience. I want to hear your experience.
Oh, mine is one time, like, speaking of like campfires and camping out. One time I was at when I was like high school, I had a campfire camp out thing, and the next day, like, I had a mosquito bite on my dick. I was like, this girl gave me herpes, and I freaked out about it for like a month, but it was just a mosquito bite. I didn't know what, like, I was worried. So I also have a tick bite right now on my hip that won't stop, like, go away. So I'm a little worried I might have the Lyme disease.
That's the thing, though. I mean, I can't. If I was in your position, I'd do the same thing because, like, a guy's life is basically revolving around making sure nothing happens down there. So it's like you see a bump, it's like, oh man, is this it? Is this going to be the day? Am I gonna have to register somewhere? At what point?
You gotta register somewhere.
Like, show AIDS victims in your area. It's like, fuck, not worth it. But
have to go on the herpaderp tender now.
Yeah, but you can live with AIDS now, which honestly I didn't know until somewhat recently, like a year ago. I didn't know that we had advanced, so I always thought it was a death sentence. But still don't get it. But just so you know.
Yeah, it's actually to the point to where they found more like genetic stuff, like how to like get rid of it altogether. Besides just like the medical cocktails, like they found more genes that like point to like how to be immune to it, immunize. So we'll see.
Phantom said, if someone says they want to marry you when they first talk to you, is that considered a red flag? I considered it a red flag 2 months in. So I'm not going to say anything else about that. But yeah, it's a little early. If it didn't, you're probably okay. Yeah, you're fine. It's not probably not Lyme disease.
Yeah, I think anyone who comes on too strong, you should be worried about. There's like a fine line of like how much someone should be into you, and if it goes over a certain amount, it should be a little worrisome. Because I mean, everyone's special, but no one's that special that someone should be obsessed over you. So you gotta be worried about that.
Yeah, Kevin said, "Don't worry, they'll come up with something worse. Super AIDS." No, I think the worst STD ever is children. That's like, you can't get rid of it for at least 18 years. Although I'm not going to get that dark. I was about to say they're trying to make it where you can. But no, like I would, oh man. I could probably live with some STDs. With babies, I would be a terrible influence. God, they'd be on the channel. We'd be using them as actors.
Oh my god, yeah, that's messed up. That's probably some child labor laws.
Ethan's like, we do have a baby story coming up. Let me go talk to Rebecca.
Man, that'd be rough. So, welcome to the world of AIDS is an urban legend about a man meeting a woman at a bar, going back to his place to sleep together, only to have him wake up to her being gone, and the famous slogan, "Welcome to the world of AIDS," written on his bathroom mirror in lipstick. The urban legend has many different versions and variations. It used to be just a parable about casual sex and the risk of it. It was largely considered just a legend until the stealth, they call it posing, I don't know, actually turned out to be a very real thing. Modern actual cases involved a British man named Daryl Rowe, who already knowingly had HIV, sent a text after sex to many of his victims saying, "I have HIV, oops, LOL, JK," and just saying stuff like that. Others have also been convicted of knowingly doing this on Craigslist and other dating sites. So just be safe when you're playing with strangers. You wouldn't want this to happen to you, which is something crazy. I've always heard the rumors like this, and I thought it was more an urban legend too, kind of like the gas prick under the prick thing under a gas
that worried me for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, it just seems like people could be this heartless, but I could almost seem like people, I've heard pregnancy stories the same way, people saying intentionally trying to get knocked up or getting someone pregnant saying they wore a condom when they didn't, which I don't know how you like reverse that, but
Yeah. Well, I
some
mean, I've
people.
seen things where people that have AIDS intentionally sleep with as many people as they can. So, I mean, there was a real story about that last year, I think. It's like, shit. Pineapples is your safe word, too. We still need to release that video.
I sent you the footage, man. People of New
I did
Orleans.
find it. I didn't know I had it.
It was literally on your hard drive when I saw it the other day. Just kidding.
Oh,
I think it was on
honestly,
mine, but I did give it to you because I gave it to you when I gave you the Hot Ones things. I gave it to you like 6 months ago.
yeah.
Blake's like, maybe. We'll see. It's called People of New Orleans in the file. If not, we can retrade files.
And Joey said childless for a reason. And After Dark said, yeah, unfortunately, I didn't realize what team I batted for until after I had my little one. That's unfortunate. I'm sorry. But hey, again, like if I had a kid, I'd be stoked because it's like, oh man, I can turn them into me and they can haunt the world for, way after I'm gone. But it would just be a bad time. I'm still learning to take care of a puppy. So
Yeah. To me, like children is like the way I've heard people, like friends and stuff, describe it is like your whole worldview changes or shifts when you hold it in your arms the very first time. And to me, like that's what I think would have to happen for me to fully like understand and appreciate it. So I don't know if I could ever do the whole planned pregnancy thing. I don't know. It's scary. The whole idea of being responsible for a mini you. I don't know.
yeah, and that's the thing. Nowadays, it's like you can't even beat your kids. What is this? What's this life? I only took those beatings as a kid under the assumption I was going to get to give them out one day, and you're saying I can't. That's like paying all this Social Security and finding out we're not going to get it in the future. It's like, what is this shit? But no, it's just I don't know. I kind of don't want to bring a kid into the world these days because everything's gone to shit. Everyone's just divided. Divided we fall.
So, Blake, we need the kids though, so we can keep up on the YouTube trends. So, I mean, if
We
we had
can.
kids, they would tell us about all the things we should be doing to stay
We'll
hip
be
and
like
up.
Tom and Jerry and Scooby Doo and have like the strangest kids. They go investigate like little haunted preschools and it'd be a great time. They'd get all the views. Ghost Hunter Children.
Yeah,
That's
Phantom said
cool. That's
that.
I'd buy the shirt.
Yeah, Phantom said the real thing. Kids keep you from getting rich. That's also I'm scared about. Like they're just like a money drain.
Parasites.
Yeah. I'm just trying to survive on my own. Like imagine trying to feed ramen to 2 people or 3. That's a lot of ramen.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
That's at least how many cents?
Fuck that.
But yeah,
And
like
what do you mean?
What do I mean? What?
So what do you mean you have to add stuff on the side to it? You don't need sides with ramen.
Exactly.
So,
Joey said I have nieces and nephews to keep me updated on the trends. I do too, and I think that's a big reason why I'm not that into it because I've been an uncle since I was 6 years old. So I've got twin nieces, then 2 more nieces and a nephew. So it's like I kind of had the kid experience without having to take care of them. And my other thing is maybe this is an unpopular opinion. I don't think kids are that cute. Like everyone's like, "Oh, babies are adorable." I'm like, have you seen puppies? And they grow out of that shit real quick. You don't have to worry about terrible twos. By the time they're 2, they're good. They're great. Navi's only almost a year, and she doesn't shit in the floor anymore. Babies would be. Just saying.
I like watching
Adopt puppies.
I like watching good kids movies because they're actually good, not because I have a kid and I'm forced to watch kids movies.
I do find myself watching like a lot of animated movies. I watched Trolls, and I didn't mind.
That was a classic movie.
I thought that was pretty good. Soundtrack was all right too. But yeah, like I really like children's movies. I like well-made children's movies. It's like How to Train Your Dragon. That's probably not made for adults, but it's a damn good movie.
I've been meaning to watch it. Me and Rebecca watch all of them. We watched the Hotel Transylvania movies recently, and they're really good. They're like the best Adam Sandler movies I've seen in a while.
Wait, what was it?
Hotel Transylvania.
Oh yeah, that was really good. Really
It's
good.
a vampire.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Blah blah blah. Baby cats and dogs are way more cuter than human babies. They are. They really are. So, I love dogs. I love cats. I mean, I haven't had a cat in a long time, but I just like animals. Okay. And they don't judge you that much. Like the husky talks back a little bit, but that's it.
Yeah, like that picture you posted today of Sassy and Navi. Like, can you imagine if that was our kids? That would not be near as cute if we just had two children right next to each other.
Let me see if I can find it. Hold up, because it was super cute.
It was.
Gotta
And
share it.
it's like it would take a lot for kids to beat that picture. Like that was classic.
Yeah. So how old's Sassy now?
3 years old.
3
So
years.
she's getting up there.
Yeah. So this is the picture we shared on Twitter, and also follow us on Twitter. It's the strangest _YT. But this was for Sassy's third birthday. I don't know why I asked. There's a giant 3 there. But Rebecca made cupcakes for her, and Navi got a cupcake. And just look at those eyes. It's like, yas, cupcake, yeah. So, yeah, much like kids, they'd have it all making a mess. Dogs, just they clean up the mess. They'll lick the floor after they make the mess. Good
They're
stuff.
so much better. They're happy when you see. Also, what I'm really worried about, and this is like long term things. Like I was a really shitty kid, like especially when like I was a teenager and stuff. Like, could you imagine the thing you loved the most? Just like being a teenager and like hating you or just like doing stupid shit, and you have to like try to teach them how to do things the right way and then watch them fuck up, but at the same time give them the right amount of space so they can learn, and you don't want to be overbearing. Like it's a fine line. Like being a parent, like it's
It's not
commendable to anyone.
rewarding.
Like it's crazy all the stuff you have to worry about.
Yeah, it's awful. But yeah, another thing I saw, it's like someone was saying, it's like when I get home, my dog is so excited to see me that they literally pee themselves. All of my friends are fake. It's like no one cares except my dog, who will literally cannot hold their bladder because they are so happy to see me, and because they have been left alone for 8 hours. So, but yeah, get a ghost. You don't have to feed them. You don't have to give them attention. All around, easy to have. I thought I had one. It's been quiet for the last couple days, but I thought I had one at some point. And another thing I thought was weird. I don't think I've told you this. Like I was thinking, it's like, you know, Joey was saying like, "Don't follow me home. Don't follow me home" to the spirits, and I never said it. But at the end of in the last video we did, at the end, I'm like recording in the attic Belvedere area. And at the end, I say, "Feel free to follow me," like talking about downstairs. I was like, what if that was an invitation? And the weird thing is the original audio, it glitched when I said that. So it says, "Feel free to follow me, follow me." I was like, shit, what did I do?
Double
Gotta use my words. Gotta be specific. So she said, yeah, I had my own experience. Yeah.
Apparently you have with 3 decades of experience. Damn.
That's still debatable.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need a Wikipedia article for reference.
I have no idea.
IMDb.
There's no way.
Yeah, that's unusual. Good if it's true. Good for you. You have a long life of looking young ahead of you, but that's insane.
Yeah, I sent the battleship investigation, like spooky whispering. Said like on Reddit there were people looking for like paranormal investigators. So I sent them that video, and I never heard anything back. But maybe one day.
Yeah. Also, After Dark, I meant to tell you, we are not ignoring you. We're gonna get back to you. It's just this week and next week have been insane. So we're gonna get back to you about that message. Leave that cryptic. But yeah, didn't forget.
Also, we're terrible at communicating.
We are the
Joey
worst.
and Michael and just ourselves to each other. We don't talk.
Yeah, ask Joey and Michael how it was like getting us to go. I'm pretty sure when they got to the mansion, they were still thinking like, are they gonna come? Because like we just don't reply to things. Like we think the other person's gonna do it, or we forget about it. So yeah, between two guys, we do not reply. I'm sorry to everyone we've offended.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sorry. You After Dark analysis. So she said, yeah, we don't lie. Yeah, we're kind of awful. I'm bad at that in general, like text messages, anything, even work text messages. I get in trouble for that. I'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, whatever.
Yeah, literally, Joey and Michael, like when they were saying bye to us at the mansion, just like, bye, we may never see you guys again because we don't really know. Like it was the most like, I'm sorry, we're really bad and kind of awkward. I'm the worst. Like I'm the worst about not replying to stuff or just seeing stuff or getting anxious about it and just like overhyping stuff. It's really, really fucking dumb. So just know if I reply to any of you guys on social media, on Instagram or anything, like I've literally thought over that reply like 2 or 3 times and worried about it. Even like the Phantom of Darkness, like I've talked to him just randomly in Twitter DMs, and it's just like I stress out about that stuff too much. So
Anxiety is real.
yeah.
So real. Yeah. We're not good at being humans. That's why we try to talk to ghosts.
Yeah.
So Ethan, speaking of ghosts, what did you think of the EVPs?
Oh man, I really like the.
Ethan didn't hear any of the EVPs until the video came out, so yeah. I haven't heard his reaction.
No, I really think there was something there. Like I've been meaning, like Rebecca's worked all this week, so I haven't let her like listen to it. Literally, she watched the video last night, but I went to bed because I had stayed up waiting for her to get home, and like today at work, Michael wasn't there, so I was like, I really have to be on top of things. But I don't know, like I really think it's something. I was really kind of waiting for Rebecca to like call, because she'll call out anything and try to really. She's a real big hater on everything, so I wanted to hear her reaction, and then I forgot to ask her. And I literally went to bed to her watching the fucking video, and I had read your text message already about the timestamp. I could have told her that, and I just didn't put it all together. So.
But. Yeah, I mean, I reached out to Rebecca and Joey and Michael. I was like, "Do you think this could have been you?" Because like I didn't hear it. I was like, maybe it got picked up through the walls or the ceiling rather. It was like, it's just one word. I didn't hear any other words to the EVP. And the weird thing is like that got me is like it was in the flat line of the audio, and I was like, what is that sound? And then I pick it up, and it sounds like a child with like a southern accent. To me, it sounded like he said vampire, which makes absolutely no sense. I didn't put that in the video because it's like I didn't want to be the idiot that's like, did you hear that? It said Zach's, like, kill Zach. I almost put that in the video. It's like, did you hear that blip? It said kill Zach. But yeah, I don't know. It creeped me out listening to it. And there's actually another EVP, and that's like right before that one of the same like sound, but it's just like a blip. And I was like, I'm not gonna waste my time trying to let people hear that when it's so quick. But I think there might be something going on in that mansion. So, but for my money's worth, I want to go back to the battleship. So,
I just want to do more stuff in general. Like that was a lot of fun, and you've done a really good job editing. Because that's also what I'm really slow about a turnaround time. Because we still have videos from like the New Orleans road trip that we haven't released because I'm terrible. But
did you like the closet scene?
Yeah.
That was fun to make.
There was
just got pranked.
I know. There was I was gonna say something else. There's something else. Fuck. Man, I lost it.
Keep thinking. I'll talk. Joey said it's true. I look for EVPs on everyone's video. Yeah, there's some interesting things. Let me know if you find any cool ones on mine that I missed, because there was like 20 minutes of footage, and I'd hear things, but it's like that could have been traffic. That could have been someone else talking, but. At one point, I know everyone was downstairs, and I was still.
Yeah. All right. What I was going to say was about the EVPs. All right. When me and Rebecca were in one room, Michael and Joe were able to like sneak up and scare me really bad. And the fact that they were able to do that makes me think that the sound couldn't carry, because a lot of the area is really carpeted, so that absorbs sound. So makes me think like the EVPs might be something. That was my other point to the EVPs.
Yeah. I don't know. I know you and Rebecca weren't up there because in the video, it's actually chronological. Like you come up, and as soon as I heard you guys coming up, I turned off the camera and put everything up because I was like, noise pollution. But I don't know. I don't know what it was. Again, I only try to include evidence that I can't explain as something else. That's why I didn't put orbs in there. Like I showed my sister, and she was like, "You just ignored all the orbs," and I was like, "Yeah, but it could be the dust." I did catch a really big orange orb that was kind of weird, but yeah, I was like, I'll let people look at it, but I'm not going to make a big deal out of it because it could be something else.
I'd like to see the orange orb. I didn't know about the orange orb.
I think it's in the trailer. It might be. It's when I think it's in the doll room when I'm not on night vision, but it's definitely in the video. It's kind of weird. It comes down and then goes right back up, but it's big. So it's kind of neat. Phantom said the only problem I have with EVPs is your mind can really manipulate you into hearing something that isn't really what it says. Like you could hear a voice say "I love being dead," and it could just be static, and that's true. But if you listen to that video, it's like a clear voice. Like it's definitely some kind of voice.
Yeah, and it was like, and that's not when we were using the ghost box stuff too. So the ghost box was interesting too. We used Michael Scott's because somehow we forgot like ours was still with Jacob. I think I haven't even talked to him about that or made that video because I'm shitty. We filmed the whole video and it still hasn't been made. So we'll see.
I really want to get a laser grid. I thought that was a cool thing. Like we didn't get a lot of activity on it, but it sounds like a fun thing.
So Blake, if you could time travel and alter time, what would you go back and change?
I would go back and change the Berenstain back to Berenstein.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm tired of that shit. Don't fuck with my childhood memories. No, if I could go back and change anything, like the thing is, you got to be careful. There's like butterfly effects, man. So, I guess it'd have to be something in my own life. I would go back and to when I was at my in my best shape, and then go to the day where I picked up a piece of pizza and slap it out on my hand. Just be like, no, trust me. But pizza's delicious, and I don't even know if that would have stopped me. What about you?
I wouldn't change anything in my real life. So if I had to worry about the butterfly effect, I probably wouldn't do it unless it was like an actual real chance to change time. And you have the whole moral obligation. Like, should I have to go back and kill Hitler or something like that?
Have you seen Deadpool 2? He's just like, he's so cute. I can't kill baby Hitler.
Yeah. So if I had to do something like that, then that's what I would do. But I really am really sketched out about the whole idea of a butterfly effect and the whole idea that you could get trapped in constantly changing stuff and just regret it. And it's so easy to have normal regrets in real life that just seems like almost like a Groundhog Day where you just be reliving it over and over again by doing thousands of tiny little changes.
Or like Final Destinations, like you avoid your death, but that causes someone else's death.
Oof, that's
a movie I need to watch again.
Yeah. That's something I don't even think I've seen the newest, the two newest ones.
I own it, but I also have not seen the newest one.
I should watch it one day. We could rabbit it.
We could. Let's do it. I'd be down. Yeah. I still want to watch Us. I think it just came out.
Oh, yeah. We could see that. We were planning to see it Saturday or Sunday. It just depends how Rebecca feels since she's feeling really bad right now.
Yeah, I'd like to see it if y'all go because looks like a good movie.
Yeah. So, have you ever come across any creepy wild animals or just animals that seemed out of place?
Man, I have a story, but I don't know if it's YouTube appropriate. And it probably wasn't out of praise. It probably wasn't out of praise. But fuck it. No one watches these, right? How many viewers we got? One. It's fine.
We had 600 on the one last week, or almost 600. That's crazy. That's crazy for our live stream. So thank you guys for watching. We appreciate it.
So this one time I was with my ex, and this is before I had my own place. So as you did back in those days, you had to try to find a place to do things that you weren't supposed to without getting caught. And I drove out to my friend's house in the middle of nowhere and parked off in his property because he couldn't see me from the house. And we got out of the car and started doing things on the car. And I heard which is a bad impression, but it was very scary. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And she was like, don't worry about it. Just continue. And then a couple minutes later, I just hear, and it's like, what the fuck is that? And I look into the woods and I see a pair of glowing eyes looking at me. And I'm like, oh my God, get in the car. There's a bobcat staring at us. And yeah, that was my first time ever seeing a bobcat. Apparently that area is known for them, and apparently they had people actually get chased and attacked by bobcats. So that was pretty scary. And from that day on, I always tell people that I got cock blocked by a cougar. But yeah, just a little bobcat. So, anyway, how about you, Ethan?
No, not really. Just like deer and stuff, like almost hit them or nothing really too crazy. Oh, there was one time Rebecca and Rebecca was driving. I was in the passenger seat, and her mom and dad were in the back, and we are coming back from Williamsburg, and all of a sudden, like an owl just like died, like fell out of the sky, like and just smashed her windshield and just plopped down. And it didn't crack her windshield, luckily, but we just kept going. But it was definitely like had died and fallen out of the sky because the way it was just like dead weight, and it wasn't like bad weather out or anything. So that was pretty crazy because you just see like an owl face smash into it, but it was like upside down, like it was falling, not like it was flying and you hit it.
That's the beginning of a horror movie.
Yeah.
Like the third, what was it? Close Encounters? No, the third kind. I don't know. Anyway, owls.
Yeah.
That's crazy, though. I don't think I've ever even seen an owl, like, outside of a zoo. So
We have one around our house because like before the fall, like into summer, I could hear it hoot and like rattle in the trees. I never saw it, but there was an owl right up there. I'd freak Sassy out.
yeah, it should, because, I mean, that could eat Sassy.
Yeah.
Like, that's what scares me about my parents have Yorkie poos, and they're like Sassy size, but not even as fluffy, so they don't look as intimidating as Sassy. But like they have these big like vulture looking birds that just kind of fly around the property, and it's like they could definitely swoop down and just take them. It's like they're smaller than a rabbit. So that haunts me. I don't know how I would react. Ugh.
I would just imagine like almost like a balloon, like I'm holding Sassy her leash as she's getting dragged off. I'm trying to yank it down because we also had like something die behind her house today, and there was like 5 vulture type things like flying around in circles when I'm trying to walk her before the stream. I'm just like, I really hope they don't notice us as we're trying to like rush around the block, but
Scary
everything was
stuff,
fine.
man. Did you know that a bald eagle can carry away a fawn?
I believe it though. They're pretty big.
That's insane. It's like, holy shit. Ugh. Yeah. So just think about that, guys. Always watch your dogs. Which I'm not watching my dog right now, but she's big enough. She's fine.
Yeah, she like Navi can take care of herself. She's an actual big dog. I'm gonna read this this one, and then you can read the last 2 because the last 2 are kind of long, and I'll make up for it. So, you guys, there's a story of a ghost cow that appears only on foggy days, which began spreading around New Jersey back in 1972. Reports of a cow wandering around the area of Grigston Lock between like Delaware and the Raritan Canal in Jersey spooked a lot of hikers and hunters. The creature seemed to appear only during the foggy nights or misty mornings. When there were sightings, search parties were never able to find like any footprints, hoof prints, or like cow pot where the creature had been seen. Puzzled by the lack of any evidence that like a cow even existed, the townspeople started to think that it was just a ghost cow. Local authorities like started discounting any reports of the cow, thinking that it was just a practical joke or people misseeing things, because there had been no reports from any dairy farms or local farms in the area that a cow or a bull had gone missing. But then, in 2002, a very old arthritic bull, which matched the description of the ghost cow, was found stuck in a ravine. The old bull was unable to climb out on its own, and due to his poor health, local veterinarians decided to euthanize him, like on the spot. It was the best option for its health. The cow must have escaped a dairy farm and lived in the wild for decades, avoiding humans at all costs. It's assumed that the bull was only seen on foggy days and nights because it couldn't see people coming as easily. What would you do if you just encountered a wild bull just out in the middle of nowhere, roaming around on a foggy night? Like, there's an area near my house that gets super foggy. Like, if you just saw a bull come out, that'd be freaky as fuck. So
I would just hope that, like, T-Rex rules apply, and it's just like, if I stand really still, maybe he won't see me. Because the whole thing about bulls charging at red, that's not real. They're actually colorblind. They just charge at anything that's like fucking with them. So I was like, nope, no thanks. But speaking of that, my ex's parents, well, her mom, she used to claim, and she told me the stories a few times, that when she was in her, on her yard, which is, it's to its, like, she has a lot of property, but she would see a panther, like a huge, giant, lion-sized black cat on her property, and it freaked her out. And I was like, whatever, that's not real. And then, like last year, I found out that that's actually a cryptid. It's the Appalachian Black Panther. So apparently that's a thing. People, or at least people think they see it. So maybe there's just some animals in some weird places.
So was that also the one that had ghosts in the woods, or is this a different?
Yeah, that's the same one.
Yeah, because I had the same. Yeah, I had the same. I had the jets. The jets also fly over our house, or at least you could see them in the neighborhood. Like, supposedly there's these woods that some sketchy things happen, and the military flies jets over. And it's also near kind of where me and Rebecca live. Like, we can see them fly over, or hear them from where we are, and they flew over the other night. We could go investigate. We could go investigate those woods, but then you'd have to talk to her and open up Pandora's box. Do it for the channel.
No thanks. But yeah, like, it's weird. Like, it was like stealth fighters and like aren't like, just jets real close over the house. Like, they'd be really low.
Yeah, they fly super low. Like the ones that happened the other night were like, because I saw 2 of them, but I think there was like 4 because of the way it sounded. They were so fucking low for jets. It was creepy.
And you don't hear them until they've already passed you. Like, you see them and it's like, what was that? So it's insane.
Yeah, that's why I think I saw the last 2. Like, I heard the first 2, and then I saw the last 2. So
yeah, because there's one time I was going to work, and I just saw like a formation, like a triangle formation of jets, and I was like, oh shit, who'd we piss off? But that's just what their route. So I don't know. But yeah, crazy stuff, man. I definitely wouldn't want to see a bull. I don't trust animals. Ethan doesn't trust dogs. I remember we were in Charleston walking around like a weird part of town, and there's this giant dog comes out of nowhere and starts coming at us, and Ethan's like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Yeah. But, I was not a dog person until Sassy. Even Navi sometimes freaks me out with how big she is. So
I brought her into Petco the other day, or Pet Smart, whichever one we have, and like little kids were like scared to death of her. It's like, she's a husky, man. I guess they thought she was like a wolf. It's like she's trying to love on you, and like they're freaking the fuck out.
I mean, she is pretty lean. Like, I could see her being. She's like super friendly, but I could see her being like the wolf type. Like, you get scared thinking like she might be mean. So
yeah. Joey said she's playing Mario Odyssey and listening. I still haven't played Mario Odyssey. I need to get it. Ethan and Rebecca have played Mario Odyssey. I've played and beaten Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
And we both just go back and forth talking. It's like, you should play this game. It's amazing. You should play this game. It's amazing.
Yeah, so, I'm going to play Breath of the Wild eventually. I'm on Donkey Kong. I can't think of the name of it right now. Donkey Kong, and then I'm going to play the Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. And then I think maybe I could play Breath of the Wild. But it's been slow going. Like, Mario Odyssey is just like, it's fun. Like, it's to me like the perfect game on like, it's not too easy. It's not too hard. Like, it's got a lot of things you have to find on your own, and you can basically be as challenging as you want it to be. Whereas the Donkey Kong game is a little harder.
Yeah.
I'm not a gamer.
Yeah. Joey said Zelda's my favorite, but hard. Yeah. Like, before playing Breath of the Wild, my favorite game of all time was Majora's Mask Zelda. It was like tied with, it was like Ocarina of Time. It was like Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time. And I was like, that's my favorite game. I put off playing Breath of the Wild for a long time, and then I played it, and after I was done, I was like, I'm sorry, Majora's Mask. Breath of the Wild is the best Zelda game I've ever played. So, and that's a lot coming from me, because I have Majora's Mask posters in my basement. So
I'm just glad Nintendo's doing stuff. Like, it's really cool that they've done so much cool stuff with the Switch. So
yeah, because I mean, they struggled on the Wii U. It's like Such a sad thing for Wii U people. Like they bought the Wii U and then right after the Switch comes out. And I did see somewhere they said like the Switch is going to be around for 7 years. I don't know if that's true, but I hope it is.
Yeah.
So it's perfect. It's like how much better can animated games get, you know, that aren't trying to look realistic? I don't know.
So, man, what's the strangest things your parents lied to you about as a kid?
They told me that like strangers were gonna offer me drugs.
You haven't been offered drugs by strangers.
I asked them. It's like, yo, hey, I know we never met. You got any drugs? Nah. As far as my parents, I mean, they lied about the normal stuff: the Tooth Fairy, Santa Claus. I can't think of anything they lied to me about right offhand. I don't know. What about you?
Mine lied to me about paintball. They said I would get hurt and it was dangerous because my family was like really anti-guns for some reason. And for like living in the South, like my parents, like they're super like no guns. So the whole idea of even like paintball, like shooting like a gun at each other, they freaked out. They're like, "You'll get killed." So
I never got to play paintball either. So
I just bought a paintball gun on my own and played paintball with my friends. And then one day, like, we used to have these like paintball sleepovers. Then one day, like when I was getting picked up, they came and talked to the parents, and we're like, "Oh, I'm so glad you've been letting Ethan come spend the night. That's so nice of you." And they're like, "Oh yeah, he loves playing paintball." I'm like, "Motherfucker!"
Damn.
Yeah, and then I didn't get to go back.
That sucks.
So, it does.
Oh man, but yeah, I can't think of anything right offhand. Like my parents were really strict; they didn't let me do a lot of fun stuff. But I don't think they lied about it. They were just like, "You're just not gonna do it." So they told me if I ever had a taste of alcohol, I'd be addicted. But that didn't happen because I apparently have a lot of alcoholism that runs in my family a couple generations back. But I have a bar in my basement, and I don't drink unless someone's over here. So skipped me. Let's see. Paintball only hurts without protection. Yeah, I don't know. I've never been hit by paintball. I've seen bruises from paintball. Just, I don't know. I saw they have a new. I think it's actually where in our like general area, it's like zombie paintball, where you have
like, in Greensboro.
Yeah, where you have like a team and you just fight the zombies. And I was like, that would be cool.
Yeah. Spooky said they had someone put paintballs in the freezer before playing. Father Michael got hit by frozen paintballs by a dick. Like frozen paintballs don't just like hurt. I mean, they hurt like hell, but they also make it like to me when I've seen people use frozen paintballs, it seems like it makes it a lot more accurate. Like they are because they're harder. You can fucking see them flying, so you know they're fucking frozen. I didn't get hit by one. I had a friend who got hit by. He didn't like wearing his mask, and he'd always like have it up over it, like on top of his head instead of down. And he got like hit like right underneath his chin, like right there, smashed in the throat by a ball one time. It was like the craziest shot I saw, and it like swelled up his throat, and he was really shitty the rest of the day.
That's awful. But on that topic, did you see that our town is getting an axe throwing area? Like an axe throwing place, which is like the best thing to give a town that's got a very high crime rate. It's like, let's teach them a different way to kill people. And then we're also getting an escape room, which I think is ironic because like our whole town is an escape. Like no one ever escapes. You just try. You might get out for a little bit, but you come back.
My whole thing with the axe thing was I could only think of like how much that costs to insure. Like, that's a crazy risk.
Yeah, like my biggest fear is just like putting it like this and like swinging it, and then it just comes directly back and like slices my neck open. I don't know, scary stuff. Oh god, that's when I bought chest armor. My poor boobs. That sucks. Ugh.
Blake just read that because he saw boobs.
I mean, I do like I see certain words. I'm like, let's read that one. But yeah, that just sounds really painful. Ugh.
You didn't even read Phantom. Said his mom tricked him into reading a book, and he'd get $150, and he didn't get the money.
I didn't want to depress everyone. I was like, that sounds
what
like
kind of book was that?
I also hadn't read it.
Sounds like a college textbook. Here, pay us $150 and you might use it for one week on the syllabus.
That's garbage. College is a
Yeah.
scam. Don't do it. It's not worth
Yeah.
it. Go live in the woods. All right. So, have you? Oh man, Ethan, getting dark. Have you ever flushed a pet down the toilet before? What if it all? What if it went all pet cemetery and survived?
Yeah.
No, I've never
I,
had a pet small enough to put in the toilet. I've never had fish. Never had anything like that.
so at the fair, like I won a fish for one time. Like I was so excited. I think it was the very first fair I went to, and I brought it home, and it died that night, and I had to flush it. But I was so distraught over that because I was like a little kid, so I don't know how that happened. I don't know if they just give you like temporary fish, but it was really disturbing for like a 7-year-old.
I've got a fucked up story. So I have nieces and nephews on through different sisters. I have 3 sisters. 2 of them have children, and my nephew, he's better now. But when he was growing up, boys will be boys. He was very into everything. Like he was a troublemaker, and not because he was like mean spirited. He was just ADD and all over the place. I'm the same way, but I didn't do what he did. But he spent the night at my niece's house, and they had a fish tank full of fish. And they said that he was really interested in the fish tank, and he had mentioned, "Is like I really want to touch the fish." And they're like, "No, you can't touch the fish. It's like you can feed him, but don't touch him." He was like, "Oh." And they said the next day they came down and all the fish were dead. And they don't know what he did, but they're pretty sure he either like fucked up the filtration or something, like trying to touch the fish. So they had to flush all their fish, get new ones.
Sounds like a psychopath, like in those movies.
The
Like,
early age. I mean, the early.
yeah, don't touch the fish, Johnny. All the fish are dead the next morning.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that one. I don't know, like it's sad, but yeah, I've never had any instances like that. I may have flushed a mouse one time, but it was already dead. So, welcome back, strangers. For anyone that
you want to
shot,
you want to read the next urban legend?
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so speaking of flushing animals down the toilet, sewer alligator stories date back to the 1920s and the early 1930s. In most instances, they are part of local legend. They are based upon reports of alligator sightings in strange places like New York City. As late as the middle of the 20th century, souvenir shops in Florida sold live baby alligators in small fish tanks as novelty souvenirs. Tourists from New York City would often buy baby alligators and try to raise it as a pet, but when the alligator grew too large for comfort, the family would proceed to flush the reptile down the toilet. The alligators survive and reside within the sewer and reproduce, feeding on rats and rubbish, growing to huge sizes and striking fear into sewer workers. In Robert Daly's book, The World Beneath the City, he comments that one night a sewer worker in New York City was shocked to find a large albino alligator swimming towards him. Weeks of hunting followed. The city started an extermination campaign using poisoned bait, followed by flooding of the side tunnels to flush out the beasts into the major arteries where the hunters with 22 rifles were waiting, 22 caliber, whatever. He announced in 1937 that the gators were gone. Reported sightings in 1948 and 1966 were not confirmed. Workers didn't find the giant blind mutant albino alligators that are rumored to have mutated and evolved from flushed pet alligators. Some people even spoke of mutant alligators living in the sewers, which have been exposed to many different types of toxic chemical waste, which altered them, making them deformed and sometimes even larger and with strange coloring. In Paris, France, a Nile crocodile was captured by firefighters in the sewers below the Pont Neuf Bridge on March 7, 1984. However, it is unlikely that a fully grown adult would survive for that long in New York due to the cold winter temperatures. There are other numerous recent media accounts of alligators occupying storm drains and sewer pipes, all from states in the south of the U.S. Alligators have been sighted in the drains and sewers of Florida as recently as 2017, due to many of these waste outlets backing out into the swamps. During storm surges and in colder winter months, alligators sometimes shelter in convenient drains and hunt for rats to supplement their diet. Do you think you can make it as a sewer worker? What would you do if a giant mutant alligator came charging at you? Fuck, man. Luckily for me, I have read articles of what to do in that situation. For any strangers out there that might have to encounter a crocodile or an alligator, any of our Florida friends, they say to run in zigzags because alligators can outrun you in a straight line. They will catch you, but every time you change direction, they have to change direction slowly. So they said that's the best way to escape one. But if you're in a sewer, you fucked, fam. So that's
It's
terrible.
literally the worst place to have to zigzag.
Yeah.
Straight narrow pipe. Zigzag.
That's scary though, man. Like this is a well shit. But yeah, like even outside of sewers, alligators are scary. Like a guy that I work with that is from our Florida division, he was saying they have like a lake, like a pond in their neighborhood complex. And they were like, his daughter wanted to go to the pond. So he was like, okay, I'll bring you over there. And this little stray dog like came up to him like a little puppy. He was like playing around, like following them. And they said they got to the pond and they saw an alligator on the other side, like, with his head up above water, like sitting on the other side. And they're like, oh, don't go over there. There's an alligator. And then they hear a splash and the puppy had jumped into the water. And they said they looked back and the alligator was gone. So like the dude ran up and like grabbed the puppy and he said he pulled it out. And when he did, he saw the alligator like 5 feet away from them. And it's like, God, like you cannot, especially if you're in the water, you can't outrun that. Like, oh, scary.
Damn.
Yeah, like that would have been mortifying. Whew. I don't know. Spooky said 22 on a gator, I'd have a shotgun. Yeah, for real.
That's how you know she's from Alabama and lives in Texas.
And I pulled out my gun.
Don't fuck with her.
Right? That's why she hunts ghosts. She ain't afraid no ghosts. Eat this.
Be eating gator tonight.
Yeah. Because of little veins connected to the river, we'd have gators straight up in the ditches sometimes. That's scary. You wouldn't think that you'd find gators in unlikely places like that. It's almost as unlikely as finding a dolphin in the channel. But I did it. Ethan doesn't believe it.
Allegedly.
It was a dolphin. It's not a cryptid. It's real.
Supposedly. What are these dolphins?
Oh, yeah. Joey said at the battleship, it said, don't feed the alligators, which is super scary because the guy on the ship told us, he was like, high tide comes in around 11 p.m. And I was like, okay, why does that matter? And then we come out at 11:50 and like the whole parking lot is underwater. And it's like, oh, that's why. So alligators could just be all up in your shit. So yeah. Next time.
I posted the alligator sign on our Instagram, you guys. You guys should follow us on Instagram.com.
Instagram.com. Google it.
Yeah.
Google the Instagrams. But yeah, I didn't see any. We thought we saw an alligator. I don't know if it was one. There was like, you could see in the water, there was like a dark spot, but I don't know if it was one or not. That's scary though. But yeah. See you later, Kenneth. Thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. Have a good night.
Thanks for always being first. We really appreciate it, man. But I hope you have a good weekend.
Yeah, definitely. So would that be scarier than encountering Pennywise in the sewers? I think that I'd take my chances with Pennywise. I don't know. That's a tough one. Let me see this next movie, and then I'll give you a better answer.
Yeah.
You might have gotten some new tricks. But I also hear that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are in the sewers, so it's not all bad down there. Yeah. I don't like reading the script.
Yeah, I was like, Blake just reads this
like
in his
when I read the question.
No, you're fine. Blake just reads it like he's reading a comment under his breath. Like, oh, also here, there's Teenage Mutant Ninja. It's like, who commented that? Blake's just
Ethan.
pulling it out.
Thanks for participating, Ethan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So have you ever explored a drain pipe before, Ethan?
Not really. Like, I mean, I've seen like the openings and like, but never really gone deep. Like, I've never, like, if it's maybe for the channel, I'd be more brave in doing it. Kind of like exploring the abandoned area in New Orleans and the place recently in Raleigh. But never like on my own. I never really had the will because my family also would tell me like the most like anxiety inducing things. So, like, so if you're in a drain, Like even a giant drain pipe the size of you that you can walk in, you gotta be careful because the water might rise because someone flushed or something crazy like that, and you'll get swept away and drowned. So no. Have you?
No. And after, like, I've seen a picture. I don't know if it's real or not. I think it is. It might have been a video actually of a guy looking like from a kind of a safe distance, but he's videoing a big drain pipe, and you can see it literally a giant alligator in there, like
What?
sitting at the end of the drain pipe. So, no thanks. I'll have to find that video, but it's floating around there. Just look up giant alligator in drain pipe.
I thought you were gonna tell me like the cryptid story about seeing the thing in the sewer. I can't think about which one it is. Fuck.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
It's actually a big one, and it's one I reference a lot. I just can't think of it off the top of my head what it actually is. But I'd fucking freak out if I saw an alligator or like any wild animal in general because you don't know what they're gonna do. Like some of them, like a lot of times, yeah, they're just as scared of you and they're gonna fucking run away. But what if they come charging at you?
Yeah. Another thing that's kind of weird. I don't know if I talked to you about this or not, but I was thinking about it, like shower thoughts. But so as far as dinosaurs go, they say that birds are related to dinosaurs, correct?
Yeah.
And they also say, alligators are probably the closest living thing to a dinosaur as far as like reptilian giant creature. Is it a coincidence that alligators taste like chicken?
No, it makes sense.
That could have been the precursor. We could have known a lot sooner.
It's like dinosaurs, sharks, and chicken all date back to like the back in the day. Like chickens are just little mini dinosaurs.
Yeah, I feel like someone just ate a piece of alligator, and they're like, "Hold up, this tastes familiar." But that's another thing. Like chickens are very unpredictable. Like I would not want to have a giant chicken following me. Even a T-Rex sized chicken, I would be afraid of. That's like, man. So anyway, or roosters rather.
I mean, I one time had to take pictures of a house for insurance, and it had like a yard full, like a whole yard full. Like imagine your yard at your house, just like your whole front yard covered in chickens. That's what it was, and it was on like the road that you're like that main road how you get to your road from like Walmart. It was off of that. Like the whole yard was covered in chickens. And they literally stayed in this person's property without a fence or anything. I had to walk around like a herd of chickens following me while I took these pictures. And they were like making chicken noises and shit the whole time. Yeah.
Mom.
It was crazy. And I had to back out of there, making sure I didn't hit a fucking chicken while I got the fuck out of there. Like it was crazy.
Oh man. Ethan stories.
Yeah, that's not too far from your house. So one day, if you're just driving around and you see a yard full of chickens, we have that house
seen chickens on a side road.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's the same one, but there'll just be chickens on the side of the road just chilling. But I don't know. Who knows? Yeah. Do you want to read the last story?
No, I was gonna let you read it. It was long. That's why I read some more in the middle, so to make up for the difference.
Okay. Let's do it. So Cropsey, a boogeyman-like figure from New York City urban legends, was blamed for the number of missing children cases during the 70s and 80s, kids on Staten Island. As it turned out, there was really a crazy kidnapper and serial killer who was responsible. In 1988, Andre Rond was charged with the kidnapping of first-degree murder of Jennifer Schweiger. The Staten Island jury could not reach a verdict on the murder charge, but convicted Rand of first-degree kidnapping charges. He was sentenced to 25 years to life in prison. He would have been eligible for parole in 2008 if not convicted of a second kidnapping. Some people, along with detectives, speculated that Rand may have been involved in Satanism and provided the children to be sacrificed. There were also people that thought that Rand was not alone in the commission of his crimes, and many believed that he was passing the children along to his friends in the underground network of homeless and mentally disabled people living in the tunnel systems of the former Willowbrook State School. In 2004, Rand was again brought to trial, this time charged with the kidnapping of Holly Ann Hughes 23 years earlier. I'm struggling. There's no statute of limitations in New York for first-degree kidnapping, which made this charge possible. A jury convicted Rand of the kidnapping in October 2004, and he was sentenced to another consecutive 25 years to life in prison. He will become eligible for parole in 2037, where he will be 93 years old. There's a documentary on Netflix about it called Cropsey that you might be interested in checking out. I did not know that. I would like to check that out.
And people say it's really good because it starts off like from the urban legend perspective, like all these, they make you think it's almost like a cryptid or something that's stealing all these kids, and kind of like from like a fictionist like documentary type thing where it makes it seem like it's all paranormal. And then they cut to this guy, this serial killer and kidnapper, and they talk about his trial because when they filmed it, he was on like he was waiting for trial for so long. It was like it said the longest time in New York, and he hadn't completely been like, what do you call it? Indicted? Not indicted, but convicted. There we go. He hadn't been convicted of everything yet. So it was like this long time period. And it's, from what I read, I haven't watched it, but like all the sources I was like reading for this said you should watch it. It's supposed to be really good. I had never heard of it before. So.
After Dark, Joey, and other After Dark said it's good. So I'll have to definitely watch it. I've been looking for something to watch. I've been rewatching Stranger Things because I got in the mood.
Yeah, I'm excited for the third season.
It looks really good, but at the same time, it's like, is season 4 going to be like they're in their 30s?
Because it's like, kids. So yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Like they shot up, man. Like one's just like a foot taller than the other. I think that's pretty funny. But I'm really looking forward to it. I really like Stranger Things.
Netflix gave them the option to film everything right away. Like when the first season took off really well, like Netflix, you always see these things where things are approved for a second season, but like all Netflix deals, like if it's an actual series, automatically gets 2 seasons. And Netflix, after the first season was well received, and they already had written the second one already and had it planned out, they gave the people, the 2 directors who created it, the option to go ahead and make the next 3 seasons and film it all consecutively so they wouldn't have the age problem. But they chose not to rush it.
I don't know. It's good shit, though. After Dark said do Sabrina and also the Umbrella Academy. I assume you meant Academy. I liked both of those, too. Sabrina comes out next month, like season 2. Umbrella Academy, it'll probably be a while for that. But I liked Umbrella Academy.
Umbrella Academy's already got a second season. It's a Netflix show.
Yeah, but so like the storyline, it only goes so far. So I guess I'll have to adapt that. Anyway. But yeah, Sabrina's good. So
did you watch Riverdale?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I heard my mom and my sister like it a lot, and I'm like, oh, that makes me think I'm not gonna like it. Because they thought that Sabrina was too dark and scary. They wouldn't watch it. So I was like, okay, yeah. Like, it's too much Satanism. I was like, well, I mean, yeah, but
that's a cool part. I don't like how it almost my problem with Sabrina is mostly like her mortal friends. Like it seems like some social justice warrior type things. Like they've some really crazy stereotypes for no reason. But I really like the girl who plays Sabrina, and I think I like Sabrina, the original, like the TV show, not the comic, as a kid. So I think it's cool.
After Dark said she'd watch. After Dark Analysis said she'd watch Riverdale over Sabrina. I've heard really good things about it. I don't know. I liked Sabrina. I thought it was pretty cool. I didn't think they were going to go as dark as they did.
Yeah, it's crazy how dark they like the devil stuff. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, it's definitely not this the Teenage Witch. I saw where they had like Melissa Joan Hart, or I think that was her, like reacting to the new Sabrina, and she's like, "Oh my god!" It's like this is good, but it's dark.
I really wish they had gotten her for one of the aunts. I think that would have been really cool.
That would be cool. Yeah, maybe let her be the kind of annoying one.
Yeah,
I really liked Zelda, but I didn't really like the other one that much. She was okay. She was just kind of meh. I think she was just kind of cast as like she was dumb in the original show, but she was just really dumb in the new show.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It doesn't stick to the comic book at all, which is really hard. Yeah, I've never read the comic. I knew it existed, but it's just like, So you hate the new Sabrina? I liked it. I thought it was good.
I think of all the new like reboots and stuff, it's not the worst. It's I like the dark factor.
They took chances.
So, yeah.
A lot of things, it's just like a by the book remake, and it's like, Like, I wouldn't be interested in watching a new Sabrina the Teenage Witch without the original cast. I just like a Fuller House. It's like, I don't care about that. So I'm glad they took a risk with it. It reeks of fake wokeness. Get woke, go broke. Of course, I didn't have it for Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel apparently made a lot of money. So I thought it was all right.
Disney, man, they just have ultimate license to print money. Get on that Mickey Mouse train.
There was a lot of people saying that they actually bought like millions of dollars worth of tickets to increase their sales. I mean, they could, but who knows? Yeah. I'm just ready for Infinity. I'm sorry, not Infinity. Endgame. It's gonna be so good.
Yeah. But we're also going to watch Us this weekend. So if you guys want to see something, it'd be a fun time. Check that out this weekend. What about some other urban legends? Did we miss any that might be true? I actually found like 10 of these. We already went a lot longer than I expected on this outline. So we definitely would do another video or a live stream about this again, because there's a lot of interesting ones out there that really sound like really start as urban legends, and you find out the truth behind them, and it gets really interesting. So
yeah, I'd be down to talk about more.
Yeah.
Also, let us know in the comments if you'd like to see Ethan and I do a very spicy chocolate challenge that Ethan doesn't want to do.
Did you actually get the second beta chocolate?
I haven't bought it yet because I didn't know.
So there you go. There, you just have to do it yourself, man.
No, I'm gonna wait. Like, I want you to do it, but I don't want to buy it. And then you'd be like, I'm not gonna do it. It's only $20, and $5 goes to help prostate cancer.
What if this gives me prostate cancer?
I mean, it might hurt, but it's made with the Black Reaper, which is apparently even hotter than the Carolina Reaper, the current or previously hottest pepper in the world. But Pop Rocks and soda exploding, yeah, that's something I used to believe in. I used to think that was a thing. But yeah, I want to do it. I'm willing to put myself through the pain. So we'll see. Ghost pepper. Did I say Carolina Reaper? Oh wait, I don't know. I thought the Carolina Reaper was harder than the ghost pepper.
It is.
Okay. Ghost peppers are hot though. They're very hot. Ethan and I have had some really hot sauce before, but that was in New Orleans. So we have a video, but the audio is so bad you can't even hear what we're saying.
I mean, it's fine. You can just release as a side video.
I'll just make it like an old 1930s style, black and white. Just be like, put in some funny music, watch you run down Bourbon Street.
Dude, I got that it was your first one too. And the way they did the scale though, they made it seem like that one wasn't that bad, but that one definitely was the worst one that we had. So.
Yeah, like my sample, but for one, we both had to sign a waiver. But my sample, I think it was supposed to be 200,000 on the scale, and it lit me up. And Ethan's like, I'll do 1,000,000. And he was like, that's not that bad at all. And he's like, you're a pussy. And I was like, try mine. And then he's like, holy shit. So
yeah, apparently like what happens, and the lady didn't know this, like I read this on Amazon after, is that like some bottles do like a bottle Scoville, and then some of them, like the one we had, do like a serving size Scoville. So the 200,000 was just for like a little toothpick worth.
And that's
whereas like
lights you up. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it is fucked up. Like you saw Michael's reaction at Buffalo Wild Wings where we just had like one little bit of like a semi-spicy something. Like imagine if he had that. Like he would have died.
He might have. Like his lips went numb. He was like all red in the face. It was bad. But I mean, that first time I had that sauce, like I was my bad thing is if you want to watch it, for nothing else, it'll be entertaining because I always get the hiccups immediately. Oh, and apparently that's your lungs telling us like there's poison. Get it out. So look forward to that. Tell us if you want us to do it. I already bought one, so I guess it has to be done. But I don't know.
So I guess you have to do it by yourself because I was like, if you only have one, that's just stupid.
I'll just cut it in half.
No, that's not the challenge. You don't get it if you
Actually, I think that we already missed the limit for the contest, so it's just free.
Wait, what are you doing?
Right?
That's social media response.
Yeah, I'll have to look into it, but I think it's coming up or we already missed it. But anyway, that's all we've got for tonight.
Yeah.
So I hope you guys had a good night. It was a really fun time. I like doing the things by ourselves. Do we have anyone next week?
No, because I didn't know. Because next week, I was gonna let it be us the next 2 weeks, and then the week after that, April 6th or 5th, the first weekend of April, me and Rebecca will be gone because we will be filming that thing up north. So there won't be a stream then unless we did it on like a Thursday.
Well, maybe if it works out, maybe we can get Joey and Michael if it works.
I mean,
that way we can talk about the videos we've been putting out. It'll just be hard to get them all at the same time because the time zones. But
yeah.
We'll figure it out. But anyway, thanks guys for watching. Oh, sorry, thanks strangers for watching. What's my terminology? We appreciate it. If you haven't already, go back and watch this week's videos. I think they're really good about the haunted Bellamy Mansion. And then next week we have the haunted USS North Carolina battleship investigation and history. So that'll be coming out Wednesday and Friday. So look forward to it. I'm really excited to make it. I haven't started yet, but I'm really excited to get it out there. It's for me, it was life-changing. So very excited about it.
Yeah.
So any closing thoughts, Ethan?
There's some stuff on Patreon if you're a patron, like for After Dark, Paranormal, and Mr. Reality now is a patron. So we did a car talk on our way back from Wilmington when we talk about that stuff. There's an unedited review of, I can't think of that movie right now off the top of my head. Me and Rebecca did like a 20-minute review of, that touched me. It was that documentary where they had
the guy abducted in plain sight.
Yeah, that one. We did that. That one's unedited. We're planned to eventually edit it. See, what happened was I edited a whole review of this stupid ass movie, like right when it was really popular on Facebook. We watched it, edited the review, and as I was going to put in music to this stupid fucking review, everything was edited. My editing software crashed and it didn't save anything I had done. And that was like a fucking 2 hours worth of editing. And then we went snow tubing after that, like, and filmed JMU and stuff. But like, I was so pissed off. I didn't ever go back to edit it. You can actually see in the Patreon version, like the first like 3 minutes or something of it's like edited. You can see the clips. That's because that's the last part where I saved it. And then I went and just edited it for 2 hours, and then it fucking lost it all. So
that's heartbreaking.
It was. So it's on there, but might eventually one day make it to the channel. I got some more stuff I'm planning on maybe like moving over. I'm gonna try to go for like the next, the investigation videos are twice a week, and then I'm trying to plan for the next 2 weeks after that at least have 2 more videos and a live stream. Try to like keep up some consistency to try to get some algorithm help with things. So we'll see.
Yeah, but yeah. So just keep an eye out. It'll be a fun time. But yeah. So for those playing the drinking game, welcome back, strangers. One final shot. And yeah, until next week Wednesday and Friday. Stay strange. Bye, guys.
See ya.